Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. In this lesson, I'll be teaching you how to make a MMO using Godot 4 and Golang for the backend. This is a quick demo of the kind of game that we'll be making in this series. So I'll show you how to make this prototype game that I'm calling Radius Rumble, which is basically just a clone of agar.io made with Godot 4 and Golang. So you can actually create an account here, choose a password, and then you can customize your character and complete your registration. So then you can use that information to log in. And then this is what the game looks like. So you control a small ball which runs around and collects all these smaller balls, and you can grow in size. So because the game is fully cross-platform, I can actually log in with my phone. So I'll just use one of the accounts I already have. And just like that, I am playing my own online game, which is cross-platform. And I can see the leaderboards in-game, and there's also a chat feature. So I can go ahead and log out on my phone. And let's see if I can get a better spawn location by logging in again. Because one of the main features of this game is you can eat each other and grow in size to try to compete for the top spot. So let's see if I can locate my other self. So I've gone ahead and located myself in the game. So now you can see the perspective from both characters. And what you can go ahead and do is you can consume one of the other players, which will spawn them again in a random location, and it will increase your size. So you can grow rather large quite quickly with this method, and it makes the game quite competitive. So there's also a high score screen, so you can click this button and view the top 10 players of all time. So this is a fresh database, so it only has 7 players, but theoretically, if you didn't see your name on this list, you could search for your name and it would select the top 10 players around you. So you can search your high scoreboards. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so as I said, this game is going to be made using the Godot engine, specifically Godot 4.4. At the time of recording this video, Godot 4.4 is currently an experimental release, although I've been using the preview versions with quite a bit of success. Although there are only small differences if you do want to use Godot 4.3, which is currently the stable release. If you're watching this in the future though, just go with the most current stable release. So Godot is a really great game engine because it's free, it's lightweight, it's pretty simple for beginners, and it has a ton of export features, so you can export to iOS, web, desktop, you name it. So one of the most common types of feedback I got on the original project, which uses Python, was that Python is maybe not such a great choice for a server-side game language. And maybe the reasons for having this opinion can be debatable. I'm happy to debate this, but I can't deny the fact that Golang is a really great modern language, which is high performance, and it allows you to write very strong, robust code, which is perfect for a project like this. If you come from a Python background like I do, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but at the end of the day, I think it is a very good beginner C-like language. Because it's quite modern, I think you can't go wrong learning a language like this. And this is a good project to showcase some of its features. And for the database, we're going to be using a simple SQLite 3 database using this tool here called SQLC. So this is a compiler which takes your raw SQL queries and turns it into type-safe Golang code. So the power of this is that you don't need to worry about using some bloated ORM. And I think this integrates really neatly into idiomatic Go, which one of the biggest philosophies is simple, not smart. So we can write SQL queries which don't require learning the ins and outs of another ORM. And then we can just use one simple tool, SQLC, to take that and turn it into simple Go code, which we can use in our project. So I'm a big fan of SQLC, and we'll be showing that off in this project as well. And finally, for the packets, instead of creating our own packet structures, we'll be using Google's protocol buffers. So this is just like a fast, small packet structure. So you can serialize and deserialize your information that you want to send across the network in a really smart, modern way using protocol buffers. And what you can do is you can define what's called a proto definitions file, sort of like what you see here. And this just lives in a separate file. And what we'll do in this project is we can share this file between the server and the client so that they're both operating on the same packet definitions. So if you need to add a new packet or modify an existing one, you just need to change the one file, and then we can use a tool to compile that information into our Go code and then into our GD script code. So all of these parts are in a written form. So what you can do is you can come to my website, tbat.me, and then you can click on this little link here or go to Projects, Godot 4 Golang MMO Tutorial Series. And then all of these blog posts are free and written out in as much detail, if not more, than what these YouTube videos will be in. So for example, this first video is loosely following this first tutorial part. And that brings us to the plan. So the series will be broken down into 3 parts. The very first milestone is just to make a simple chat room. So every good MMO depends on building community and chatting with each other, so that's going to be our first goal. It might seem like at first that we're over-engineering the hell out of this chat room, but what we're really going to be doing is introducing you to the tools, building the foundations, and making a really solid platform for us to complete the next milestone, which is to implement the game logic. This is going to be the bulk of the tutorial series, where we'll be creating the spores, creating the players, taking input, and discussing different strategies for managing all of that game logic. And the final part is going to be focused on actually deploying our server to the cloud so that other people can connect to it. And I'll also be showing you how to export your client using Godot 4 and getting that client published to itch.io or to your own website. Before we wrap up this introduction video, if you have any questions or feedback, I'd love to hear from you in the Discord. So if you join the Discord, we have nearly 100 members now, so it would be great to get that back up and running. And we can all talk about Godot and Golang all day long. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you have a nice day.